Hello everyone and welcome to another Throwback Thursday, which is another story about a city trip to London. With in the first part of this video the Grand Prix itself and afterwards the trip. So it came to pass that I participated in my first ever Grand Prix of Magic the Gathering in 2013 and I traveled there with my ex for a 5-day city trip to London. Goals were simple: try to win at least one single matchup. I was there at the, for me, well-known venue of the Excel in the Docklands, and on pre-registration day I was amazed, and by hearing left and right so were many other players that played more GPs, by the amount of people queuing already. This was seemingly going to become a very big tournament. This was confirmed at the start by the barely understandable Spanish head judge, and no less than 1,970 players had registered for the main event alone. I was also one of the lucky few to score a games day mat, as they opened the last box right at the moment when it was my turn to register. So my tournament had already been a success. On the day of the tournament I knew I couldn't get the whole 9 yards anyway, as my mate and I had our girlfriends on a shopping trip, so the time limit would be around 1800 for us. I put together a pool of Orzhov-like cards. It was a sealed event, by the way, which no really big bombs in the rares, but I did get some good value as it contained no less than 3 dual lands, the Godless Shrine, the Breeding Pool and the Stomping Grounds. And I played a Shrine and an Alms Beast, together with a small red splash to play Assemble the Legion. Good card in sealed, but it needs time to become very effective. My first round was against Sama Mujic, a very amiable Frenchman, and we talked more about what to see in London and planned buys for our respective little munchkins than actually playing. The main reason being that I was color and mana screwing and I went 0-1 in the red for results. After that I went up against a 16 or something local kid, George Butler. Now, if that was my son, he would be standing a lot in corners. This was like my only non-enjoyable match of the day, and he was really showing attitude when he won round 1 by me once more mana screwing. Unfortunately for him, then my deck started rolling and he went down 2-1, including an Assemble the Legion that ticked up to 23 tokens before, because I just refused to attack and leaving him on 20 life or so. He played a sort of evolve life gain deck, but not with Exort, so then I just knocked him down in one go. It was 1-1 in games and I achieved my objective. My third opponent was another local and he beat me 2-1 fair and square. I screwed it up here. 2 times he top decked me, but in the final round I forgot to sacrifice my blocker weenies to my Undercity Spy and mill him through his deck, which was not much anymore in the late game. So I then went up in the 4th round against another UKer who hadn't had the best of days either. He also dropped after a match, which was another 2-1 victory for me. The first round I got mana screwed, the second round he got color screwed, but in the third round with him playing Simic, the combination of Alms Beast, Shadow Alley Denizen and whatever black critter I had was deadly, as he couldn't block my 6/6 Intimidator and he went down in the end. So at that moment I was still mathematically in the running for a day 2 at a 2-2 ratio, which was better than I had hoped. And so we went on to game 5. I faced a Dimir deck played by James Russell and only managed to exhort his milling in the first of 3 rounds. I had a 2-1 defeat later and I was mathematically out of the running. So since my mate had also been knocked out already after 1-3, we decided to play one more round before dropping, as the rendezvous seemingly was planned at 1900 up and about. The final round I lost by play mistakes, like over-enthusiastically already tapping attackers before waiting to see what the Angelical Skirmisher would do at the other side, but the game against the sweet Albin Jacobson was great fun and leaving the tournament with a nice feeling, on which I actually played on the coolest table of all. So in the end I scored 112 Planeswalker points, being 64 for the participation, the maximum that you can have is 72, and 2 wins that netted 24 points each, catapulting me back then in the all-time Belgian ranking to around spot 1400, but I had the needed points to be allowed in the World Magic Cup qualifiers. And that was the Grand Prix itself, but since we were in London for 5 days, we also did some other stuff, Madame Tussauds or a shopping expedition to the Westfield Center, things like that. Of course, what geek wouldn't respect himself without coming back with some loot, so here is all the glory and some selected travel pictures. So yeah, the full travel experience is on my Facebook somewhere, but I finally got by Tokyo Toys, a store I've been mail ordering from for years, like my infamous Pikachu hat. Back then located at Piccadilly Circus. They're gone now, they moved. I was amazed by how space efficient they had made the place. It's actually quite small, but the selection is gigantic. I found my two Saint Seiya Gold Chibis, Iola and Aphrodite there, as well as a model kit of the Gundam Heavy Arms in Chibi style. Top it off with the Pikachu Isle of Tokyo Toys button. Still have all that stuff, by the way. And that was a great evening loot. On the Saturday, then we went to play the Grand Prix. But we did some shopping as well. Walked around London. And then Sunday was a high day as we went to the Westfield Shopping Centre, and I actually went to a Lego store for the first time in my life there. The one in Antwerp hadn't opened yet. We also stopped at the Disney store. I got myself a Hulk cap, which I also still have. It's actually for age 3 to 6, but no one can say I have a big head because it still fits. In the Lego store, I got what I came for, the Big Ben from the Architecture series. It was an ideal memorabilia for a trip to London, in my opinion. They also had my Wet Dream, the R2D2, which I got years later. And already, sold it off when I did all my Lego away. But most important, we bought a lot of stuff for the kid, because, Lego. And then Madame Tussauds, we had a fun day, so yeah. It was a great trip to London, nice memories, and thanks for listening to my ramblings again, and see you back next time. Bye bye!